Welcome to The Outlet, where we keep you plugged in to everything energy. To lead the charge, here's your host, Tom Glanzer.
Well, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. The Outlet is back in session. We took a little bit of a hiatus there. We had 1 week off. The South Dakota State Fair. We had travel things going on. We celebrate our team together, coming together with the Chautauqua in Montana. And it's where about 250 or so company folk get together, and we talk about the future of the company. We talk about things that are going on. So pretty exciting times. And we did enjoy our time in Butte, Montana. It was perfect weather, and I got back on the roads and the plains and got back home, and everybody's back at their desk, kind of refreshed and ready to go. It's one of those things, the culture of Northwestern Energy is, I've never been in a company like it. It's very much a family business. Even though we're about 1,500 to 1,600 employees strong, you definitely have that feeling where you're just hanging out with the people that you have known and grown to love in the last few years or whatever. And it's one of those things that you really realize how blessed we are in the Midwest and the Mountain West areas to do what we do for the people that we do, serve energy to. And it was an amazing time, and I always appreciate getting away. And we did have to take out one episode of the podcast, and it just did not get finished, and that comes right back on me, so I'm sorry. So maybe I'll put 2 out this week and get all of the people that love to see the podcast out there, get them their fill of The Outlet. But we are joined today by Christine Royer. And Christine was not at Chautauqua because she apparently didn't get the invite yet, but someday maybe she'll be there. But Christine, I wanted to do something with our interns. And we have an internship program, and we have some of the brightest and best that come through. And many times those interns do turn into employees. I'm not foreshadowing anything for you yet, Christine, but you're still an intern, and we're in September, or you're still with us and you're in September, and you did intern through the summer. So obviously we found some value there, and we were able to keep you coming back. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. This is fun. It's great to be here.
And tell us where you're at right now. You're north of Great Falls somewhere, undisclosed location.
Right. Yeah, I'm east of Great Falls. Yep.
Okay.
In my home.
Great Falls is the home base. I've spent many days up there. Love the area. We used to have the mountain bike race through there, and that was fun. Me and my family. Actually, a few summers would take my family with us when we did the big, what did we call it? The Best Dam mountain bike race or something like that. And we rode the trails right along the dam, and very amazing area, very important area to Northwestern Energy, to the region with the Air Force Base and things like that. And that is home base for Christine. So, Christine, just tell us a little bit about how you came to the internship program and what your experiences was through there this summer.
Okay. Well, obviously I needed an internship for my degree program. And really how I found it was interesting. We've been a military family for 23 years now. My husband retired 1 month ago. And in preparation for that, we both went through workshops about how to find a job because he's never had to really look for a job. And I am soon to graduate and will be looking, am looking for a job now. So we went through a 3-day workshop, and in that workshop, we had to find a job. And so we went online. I was on Career One Stop is what it was called, and happened to find an internship available at Northwestern Energy there. So throughout the workshop, that was my job, was to apply for this internship with the guidance and direction of our facilitator.
Was that something through the military? Did the military help place you guys in that after?
Yep. Yeah, they have a program for people that are transitioning out to help them, learn how it's done in the real world or the outside world, I guess. It was a great program. I was grateful for it. And I went to my brother's wedding a few weeks later. I was out of state, and I got a phone call from the company asking if I would be willing to interview. So,
well, tell your husband thank you for his service. But I also know, knowing military families and being friends of guys that have been deployed and have been other places, thank you for your service to our country as well by staying where you were and taking care of, I'm assuming, maybe some kids are running around. at the
Yeah,
Royer
yeah, we have
Palace?
four
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
So that is one of those things that you do give up a normal life in all reality to be in that service, and you probably haven't had the traditional career path that, say, somebody like myself who went to college and just jumped into the career field, and now coming in, that's an amazing program that they have, and we were lucky to find you in that program. So kudos to the U.S. Government for making sure that they take care of their veterans and their veterans' families after they're done. So that's an amazing concept of how to get people back plugged in too, and making sure that they have an opportunity and a program for that. You started with the internship then, I assume in the summer of this year, like kind of the traditional
June 2nd.
summer internship. Okay. What was your background before? I think are you finishing your master's now, or what you're just finishing? Or
Yeah. Yep. I got a master's degree about like 23 years ago in agronomy, crop and soil science. And then I stayed home and took care of things while my husband did everything in the military for 23 years. And then I decided to go back to school. During the time that I was at home, when he was deployed, we did a variety of things to survive his absence. And one of those was travel to visit family for sometimes extended periods. And I would homeschool the kids during that time so they could keep up on their education. And that really got me into the whole teaching and learning part of everything. And I ended up getting a job working remotely designing curriculum. I don't know, maybe about 7 years ago. And so I kind of entered that education space. And my current program is about instructional design. It's about designing learning experiences. So my internship was all about designing AI curriculum for Northwestern Energy, how to get people to adopt and use AI in their workflows. So yeah, it's been a really interesting time to go back to school because AI is right there. And the first year in school, we were told to stay away from it. The second year in school, we were told you have to use this or you're not going to be marketable. So
this is ironic because I've got kids. My daughter is a junior in high school. She's the last one left. And with the boys, you always had to worry like, hey, don't be using AI. And now with my daughter, the whole thing is shifted. I mean,
yeah.
the boys, I got a 23 and 19-year-old and a daughter and AI is where everything is happening. Now, my background is journalism, and I take great pride in being able to be a writer. And so when AI came out, I'm like, there's no possible way I'm ever telling AI to write anything for me. And that has changed. It's one of those things where if you're not using it, you're not using it. It's like, why would the carpenter continue to use the hammer when the nail gun, the pneumatic nail gun is sitting right there? And really, if you think about it, AI is that pneumatic nail gun for really when you're doing anything. It's incredible. It can be used incorrectly, obviously, as everything on that is invented can. But the AI technology that we have is very young, but it's so powerful for what we can do. And so how we use AI in a utility standpoint, if you think about all the different ways, there can be AI predictability in weather patterns. There can be AI predictability in, energy usage and trends over the past years of things. AI predictability in wildfire. We're using it right now to safely scan the skies of Montana and South Dakota and know what the weather patterns are coming in and whether or not we have to maybe prepare for a possible wildfire situation. So what was your actual kind of job description and what did you get really into right away with the AI as far as Northwestern is concerned?
Well, it started out that big with here's all of the ways we could use AI in the company, and then we narrowed it, thankfully, all the way down for me to just Microsoft Copilot adoption. So it became how do we use it in our computer workflows, in our how do we upgrade our research, how do we upgrade our email, how do we upgrade our presentation, how do we upgrade our brainstorm sessions, how can we use it in our basic computer workflows? And our goal was to try to save every employee 20 minutes a day. And if we could save them 20 minutes a day using AI, we could save $500,000 if just 150 people were able to save 20 minutes a day. And then if you look at that at scale, it's a lot more. And really, you can save way more than 20 minutes if you learn how to use it well. So that was kind of the goal, is teaching us how to go from this is just a really fast search engine to actually how do I make this an assistant that can really help me save time.
And that's interesting. The agronomist turned educator in you found a way to infiltrate into a utility, which, sometimes we think we know it all in any business. I'm not talking about Northwestern Energy. I'm talking about any business. You do it for so long, you think you know it all. You don't need to be educated. But some of the greatest times of me coming back around and saying, oh, yeah, I need to listen more, is when an educator or somebody that's way more knowledgeable in something comes in and says, hey, have you ever looked at this? Have you ever done this? And with AI, obviously, your situation of teaching us how to use it, when it can be used, when it is a good time to use it, and save me 20 minutes a day. I'll tell you right now, there's a couple of projects that I was involved with, and I get started on the project, and I'm like, well, what does AI have to say about this? And you jump in, you put it in, and it's like, oh, well, that just saved me an hour. That just saved me 25 minutes. That saved me whatever. And if you're utilizing a tool like AI for that, that's one of those things that is very, very valuable to a company. And you found those values, and you've been instituting those. Where do you see the project? So was that like, because we kind of give our interns kind of a project type thing. Was that your project type deal? And when did you present that, or is that still a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, my project involved it was interesting because AI is so new. My project didn't have super duper specifications. It was, let's figure out how to roll this out in an organized way and also do the change management around it. So it was, so I actually ended up designing a whole program that had 7 steps. And it started with our teams would have like a kickoff session, and then everybody would take the AI policy course, which I did build, which is like just a 15-minute experience where you learn what does Northwestern Energy think of AI, and what's the governance and the guardrails around it in our company. And then we need to go further, because we kind of left it up to managers to decide what the function of their team is and if they need to go further in their AI education or not. If they did need to go further, then we had what we called a use case discovery session, where they get together and figure out 5 workflows that they do on a regular basis that they could test AI. And actually, we only wanted them to identify 1, but the hope was by the end of the whole program, you would have 5 that you felt like you could use AI in. And then after the use case discovery session, they would take the Copilot basic course, which is just the basic, how do you get around in here? How do I upgrade 5 workflows? There's 10 in the course. There would be 10 to choose from, and they would just choose 5 to learn about. After that, there's an experience called a hackathon, which is where you get together in person and you kind of hack out a process that you do regularly as a team and figure out how you could upgrade it with AI so it gets really specific to your own team's work. And then from there, you have the option of taking an advanced course, and that gets into using AI agents and more automation, and it requires a paid license for Copilot. So far, everything's been the free version. The advanced course requires a paid license. And then lastly, we were trying to put in a community of practice of some kind of just to keep the momentum going and the interest going, and create sharing. I don't know how many times have you sat by somebody and watched them use their computer, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, So
or just the opposite, and been like, what are you doing? It's like, you can do it this way, and it's way easier. I just had that happened 5 minutes ago with me. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's. I mean, with a nail gun, you can see there's a way to use it. You can see how somebody's using it. With computers, so often we're just like sitting, staring. A lot of us have developed different workflows and stuff, but some of them are efficient, some of them are not. So it's actually really helpful to learn new tricks and tips, and that was the community of practice idea. So that was kind of my project, and then designing the messaging around it. Things like our powers, our people. Investing in AI is investing in you. These are just some of the taglines we were going to use. What could you do with a co-pilot? So I created the program and then I produced the resources to make it happen. So like a manager toolkit that had slide decks and quick start guides for these sessions that managers could host with their teams, and then building these courses that could go into the LMS.
I cannot wait to sit through trainings and policy trainings and all these things that Christine put together. I'm
Yay.
lying. Yeah.
I'm trying to make them enjoyable.
They better be enjoyable, because every single person that's ever had to sit through any training, I don't care what business, if you're listening to and you're not a Northwestern Energy employee, which we have some out there, I'm guaranteeing you, they're like, oh, you're the one that makes these trainings for us. Yeah. So, but no, I find it interesting. And when you have something like AI, it's so powerful, but yet you worry about the security of it too.
Yes.
You worry about, AI is crazy. It knows everything the internet knows, basically, and it's only getting more powerful. So security side of things, being a utility and being one of the things that I think everyone in the United States wants to keep the most secure is our grid infrastructure. How did that work into your mindset, or were you not even dabbling on any outside facing thing? Was you more of a employee based?
Well, I guess I could just say I love how Northwestern Energy has approached this. They've done it very carefully, very intentionally, very thoughtfully. They chose, one of the hardest things for companies to do is choose their AI tools. And Northwestern Energy chose Microsoft Copilot because of its enterprise data privacy protection promise. And then just they have a desire to put it out in an intentional way, teaching people how to use it properly. Also, we have to invent our own training because we are locked down so much. The videos that are out there and the trainings that are already available don't apply very much to us, because we don't have the same functionality, I guess, the same level of just openness, because we're locked down quite a bit. So that it changes how you use the tool.
Did you ever think, when you were out taking dirt samples in college, and then being the military mother for several years, that you would be on really the cutting edge of technology at a utility business as your first internship out of all that? I mean, how do you even process to that point? And there's a lot of trust built into that. You think about the company trusting an intern to, hey, go develop this because we really don't have anything in store. And it probably will answer my next question as to why you're still on staff with us after most internships have closed, and just go on about that a little bit.
I never thought, no. When I look at it, I'm amazed, because going back to school, my biggest fear was the technology. I was like, I have to learn so much tech because I've been out of it for so long and so much has come on. I don't even know how to use any of it, and now, I've had this opportunity to really study AI for 3 months and use it every day and try to get really good at it. It's been really good. And if I feel like if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it's been just an incredible opportunity.
And I'll get flack for this the next time I see anyone, but you are working with a lot of engineers, and so you might have to dumb this down for them a little bit, because they tend to think only in lines and measurables. And when you put the internet out there and the ability to artificially bring in information, sometimes that's hard for some groups to take. Do you get pushback on the AI? I mean, like you and I actually said, for the first year, it's like, no, don't ever use AI. Is there still that pushback for AI, or is it becoming more of a thing where people understand, there's some value to it?
I've definitely seen it change, even in just the last year. I don't get a lot of pushback. I would say we have a spectrum of from skeptic to enthusiast in the company. Mm-hmm. And mostly the people who are skeptical that I've talked to worry a little bit about, I think everybody has a little bit of worry, because this can feel like a speeding train that nobody knows where it's going, where it's going to end up. It can feel that way. And even coming onto the project, when I was like, what are the deliverables you want for this project? And pretty much the answer was, well, nobody really knows, because this is new. Like, we're all doing this together. Right. So, but Yeah, so there's definitely a little bit of worry, I think, in everybody, but at the same time, there's a recognition that this is really incredible and we have to do something with it. We have to incorporate it. I chose to simplify it. I look at it like a dishwasher, I mean, or a microwave. I mean, you said a power, a nail gun.
Yeah.
How
No,
many
no,
people do
yeah.
you know that they only know one button on their microwave or they only know one cycle on the dishwasher, but there's so many other options, but they don't know how to use them or what they're
It's
for?
it's the one that says add 30 seconds and you push that until you
Yes.
know your whatever is going to be done. Your popcorn's going to pop right? I mean, that's
Right,
me.
right.
So,
So
and
it's,
that makes sense.
yeah, it's kind of like having a dishwasher, but you just use it as a drying rack. You still just do everything by hand and use it as a drying rack. And I guess what we're trying to say is this could make your job more manageable. It's not going to replace you in any way. And it can be frustrating because it can it can produce so much in such a short amount of time that you're just overwhelmed by what it's doing. So you have to learn how to constrain it and make it follow your lead.
So going back to being an intern in the summer, coming into and I'm getting a very educated and mature look into the utility business. Did you have much experience in the utility world at all before you started with this?
And
None. So before I was here, obviously I talked about being a journalist. I remember sitting around tables and being like, do they even know that the sports guy that used to be on TV is sitting around the table, like not understanding anything? But it helped to be in the community of Northwestern Energy because so many people poured into my education early on in my career. What was your first thoughts as to, okay, this is just the power company and I know that I pay them for the bill and I don't really understand what they do and I don't know if I'm going to be accepted here. What was your outside looking in? And then what was those aha moments when you got in, you understand, oh, these people care?
okay, this was a huge part of the experience. First of all, Northwestern Energy, other than the bill, was not on my radar
Right.
until
Oh,
this huge flag was installed. A huge American flag was installed next to Black Eagle Dam. And that happened like in, I'm thinking 2022 or something, and it's right on River Drive. And it has lights on it. It's the biggest flag in town. And it almost got me all choked up when I saw that flag go up. I just felt so amazed and thankful to whoever did that. It was kind of at a dark time in our country when there was a lot of negativity. And as a military family, I don't know, it just made me feel, for the first time, I was like, I like those guys. and and then coming in as an intern, every person I met was so high quality. I just felt like they were professional. They were so friendly. They were so willing to answer questions. I felt immediately welcome, and the facilities are beautiful and well cared for. I got to do two community service projects during my internship as a Northwestern Energy kind of representative and work with some of our community relations people to plan those. And I just felt like this is a caring company. Another thing, I got to tour the dams and that are right here in my community. I've never been able to do that in all the time I've lived here. And I learned that there's some pretty extensive construction work going on one of them where they're putting concrete pylons on it. And the reason for that is because in the winter, they get ice up against the dam and people have to go out in the night or whenever it is and chip away that ice to keep the flow going. And they've been doing that since like the 1930s by hand. And they're finally putting in these concrete, changes to make that so people don't have to manually go out and chip away the ice. And it just made me feel like I can't believe somebody's been coming out here to make sure my power stays on all winter long, chipping at this ice on the river. I had no idea. So I guess to your point, working with farmers, working with soldiers, and then working with utility people, it feels similar to me. They feel
mm-hmm.
like they're of a similar, just a similar, made of a similar material, I guess. They're
You
hometown people
almost
that do really important work and care a lot.
the care a lot thing is probably the biggest thing. And you think about you started with the farmer. I mean, those people absolutely love what they do. They absolutely love the land. They are not going to ruin what brings them, whether it be livestock or ground. Their whole mantra is, this is my livelihood. I got to protect that. And if you move into the soldier, then obviously the love for country and the love for service there is undisputed, and absolutely would lay down a life and lay down 23 years of your husband's life, I think. And yes, it's a career, it's a job, but it's what he loved to do. It's probably not, every day was not amazing. It's not amazing for a farmer. It's not amazing at the utility business. But when you get to doing what we're doing, and you think about the footprint that we have in Montana and South Dakota and Nebraska and the little bit of Wyoming that we serve, there's an absolute love for those places. And we understand we have to take care of those places. And you're right. It is a company where there's an absolute love of what we do and an absolute love for the communities that we serve. And just being able to get around Montana a little bit, as I did this week, and see, like some of the projects that have happened in the last year and a half, and the buildings that are going up, and the new businesses, and maybe some businesses that have closed. But, you see just kind of the ebb and flow of how things work, and we're such a big part of that. And that's amazing. And I just want to, thank you for taking the chance with us with an internship. It was probably a wing and a prayer a little bit, but man, I think it worked out good. And I think as far as the AI thing, it will be interesting to see where it takes us, where it takes you. And it's definitely in my arsenal. It's 100% one of those things that you're like, can AI make this better? And the other question that you always got asked too is, do I trust what AI is giving me? And does this fit in with the company? I think that's just the common sense side of AI too, that you have to realize that this is a computer telling me this, and I've got to go through it, and whatever it is, if it's a document, I'm going to go edit this and make it sound like mine, or just take parts of it. Because we've all seen the, edit this picture of my family to make them look better, and then my face comes back with the Tyrannosaurus Rex on it, and the rest of the family looks amazing. So
Yeah.
Christine, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you've done for the company and being a part of us. And I love the fact that you're still on board with us. And again, thank you guys for your service to America and to the world, in all honesty. And thank you for your service, community service, because that's I'm a community relations manager, so I love it when people get involved, and our employees love to give back. And we don't always have the time to do that, but the fact that you took the time and gave back of your time to give to the communities, and seeing the little things that you do, that it's like, oh, somebody's been doing that. It may be a small job of knocking ice off of a dam, but it's helping everything else down the road, and that's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I told Christine this is the weirdest thing she was going to do in her internship, and I think it's right now. We've got her podcast is shot. Christine Royer was our guest intern at Northwestern Energy, and I don't know, do we still call you an intern, or is that still technically continuing on?
Intern,
how long do we get you to intern for? Is this like a long-term deal? 20 years later, Christine's like, I'm still an intern.
I'm still an intern. No. Basically, the semester started again, so I'm back in school, and so my hours are shorter, are fewer. But I'm still trying to build the co-pilot basic course, and just there's not like a solid stop point at this point, but it won't be for years. I can tell you that.
I have nothing to do with HR, and HR hates it when I talk. Anyways, HR gets nervous. HR and the risk department. Yeah, the fact that I even have a microphone in front of me and get to speak for the company is pretty amazing, I think. But I want to thank you for coming on the outlet, and as always, keep tuning in. NorthwesternEnergy.com. If you guys have any questions about anything, there's a place you can just throw out questions to it. If you have an idea for the show, if you want us to bring in somebody that you want to hear about, it doesn't even have to be company-wise. It could be somebody externally. Say, hey, this is an energy thing that I want to be talked about on the outlet. You can definitely send that to us via email, or just give us a call at the 800 number. So thank you, Christine, for coming on the outlet, and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on this week's episode of The Outlet. For more information and weekly energy updates, like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or visit northwesternenergy.com.